As a kid growing up watching battle-damaged Goku fight various villains, Ippo box his heart out, Rocky training, Bruce Lee whooping ass, and seeing 300 Spartans decimate monsters all not only blessed me with motivation during my formative years, but made me want to develop a six-pack myself. Anime these days especially just hands them out like they're a bargain sale, but as I've learned from over the years of training myself and various clients due to different factors, many people fall into a circle of gaining it, then losing it, then gaining it and losing it over and over. After all these years, I've developed evaluative experience, and if you want to drop that stubborn body fat and get some abs of your own, this will help you get them and maintain them, again, no matter what age you are and what financial bracket you're in. Let's get it!
Man is weak! We need a fitness guru!
Yo dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighbor Jaxblade is back, and today let's show you how to get them anime looking abs in real life and burn fat in 7 simple steps that you can start to burn fat faster, okay? So let's get right into it. So your first step from going from Achuda to damn Goku is to make sure you are in a caloric deficit. And to find the amount of calories you should be in a calorie deficit, you can just go on Google and type in a calculator, or you can use something like MyFitnessPal. That's just the easiest way to go about it. So okay, I want to say this right now. If you are a carb lover, don't have any frets, okay? Carbs are your friend. Carbs are energy. Carbs are really good for you and just make you feel good. However, there is something I would like to say. If you have a set amount of calories you need to hit per day, so let's say you have to eat, like, for example, 2,200 calories, and 1,900 of those calories all came from carbohydrates, but you barely got like 30 grams of protein in during that day, then you are going to be more hungry than usual, and that's definitely going to affect your fat loss journey. Think of it like this. Carbohydrates break down into glucose, aka sugar and stuff like that. And this is what your body primarily uses for energy. It loves using this. And so pretend this thing of water here is your stomach, all right? So let's say you just ate a bunch of carbohydrates. So now we're gonna just pour that in there, all right? You see the water changing, all that stuff, right? Now take a look at that, all right? Does that look like it's like very full? All right, so the sugar is dissolving very rapidly and stuff like that. So your body gets like fast energy from the carbohydrates. Versus if you were to eat something like, let's use this little ham here, pretend it's that protein and pretend this is your stomach still. So we're just gonna throw that in there, didn't spill anything. And then look at that. This is gonna take a lot longer to break down and stuff like that. But also, let's also add some, where is it at? Let me get some of this butter. Boom, healthy fats too. Like, let's pretend that is just like, you know, fat and protein in your stomach. See how it sits? It's sitting there. The sugar is all dissolving, but the protein and the fats, they're staying there. They're staying there, so you feel full longer when you eat more of those, all right? So what that does is it allows you to stay in a caloric deficit longer because you're not as hungry. You won't be going like, oh, I need to crave something. I had like a big steak. Like imagine if you had like a big steak for dinner, right? You're just gonna be like, oh, okay, like I don't need to eat as much right now because I'm like pretty satisfied. And then let's just add some of this bread to it to give a full-on example. If you have protein, fats, and carbs in your stomach at the same time, you're gonna feel very full and very satiated for a good amount of time. So like, I'm gonna talk about something later on about how to schedule your meals, but this right here, this is a good way of how you want your stomach to feel without bloating yourself, without overeating and stuff like that. So that is something to keep in mind. The more balanced your meals and the more protein you eat, the more satiated you're going to feel so that you don't want to overeat. So you want your stomach to feel full like this for a long period of time so that you do not overeat. And the way you can do that, there are so many cheap options as well. You can go and get like a bunch of canned fish, it's very cheap. You can go and get frozen chicken. You can go and get rice and beans, stock up on it. There's a ton of foods out there that are not that expensive that you can stock up on. And we'll go in further depth later on of how to like schedule your meal plans as this video goes on. But that's the first step of helping you go from feeling like this to start looking like this. Like if you give yourself 16 weeks, you will notice an astronomical difference just by doing this. Next up, drink more water, okay? Not only does it have a myriad of benefits for the body, but you are going to feel a lot better, you're gonna have a lot more energy, and you'll also start to drop water weight, which makes you appear leaner. So if you want to get that JinWoo look going on, this is one of the things that can actually help you with that a lot. But one of the things that I cannot stress enough is a lot of people have issues drinking a lot of water, so I want to make this as easy as possible for anyone. So Here's a little trick for y'all, all right? Try carbonated water if you aren't already. So I have a soda streamer, which is basically just, it adds carbonation to the water. But just think of like, if I gave you a 2-liter bottle of Diet Coke and I said, drink this in 10 minutes, I'll give you 50 bucks, right? Like, if you chug that entire thing, you're probably gonna feel sick, but also like for a couple hours, you're not gonna be hungry. You're just not gonna be hungry because the carbonation helps you to stay full longer. So there are various ways. You can go and get like LaCroix, you can go and get like various things if you want to, but you don't have to stick to carbonated water as well. You can stick to plain old water, though here is a hack. Here is a little hack. A lot of people get intimidated if they see, oh, I gotta drink a gallon of water a day, all right? So like seeing this is very intimidating. However, a little trick that I found is instead of drinking out of a gallon jug, just drink 4 32-ounce cups. That equals a gallon. You can get these from like the Dollar Tree or anything like that. These are literally just like simple cups that you can fill up water, just drink them like once every 2 hours or something like that. You can do it. But another trick, this is like a little mental trick that you can do, is if you go to McDonald's, right, get a large cup. And then like, let's say you get like a diet drink or something like that and you can save it. But this is a little mental thing that I use is instead of like, just throwing it out, you can keep it as a cup and then you can fill it with like, you know, ice, and you can also make like different things to add to it. So you can be like, oh, I'm gonna add some Mayos packets to this and pretend like I'm drinking something. Oh, I'm gonna add like, you know, some diet stuff to this or whatever I want to, just to make the water more flavorful, lemon juice, whatever. But the thing about this is just drinking out of this cup, it's a little mental hack because like if you're so used to drinking soda and all this stuff, you're used to drinking out of one of these type of cups. But if you're just like, yeah, and it's got ice in it and all that stuff, you start to go like, oh, I'm drinking more water. I'm unintentionally drinking more water. When I worked at Burger King, I used to do this all the time. I would get a large cup and I would fill it up with like a lot of ice water and I would just drink it throughout the day. And by the end of the day, I'll probably drink like 1.5 to like 2 gallons of water easy. I'll be pissing like a storm, of course. But it's a very simple trick to help you get hydrated, and that's going to lead to you getting those abs that you really want for yourself. Oops, camera just died, so excuse me. Step 3. All right, higher protein meal hacks. And what I mean by that is like, instead of like focusing on the stuff like, you know, chicken breast, broccoli, brown rice, which is fine. If you want to eat that every single day, by all means, I recommend like doing stuff that makes consuming it very easy. So I actually recommend that you switch over to doing stuff like more wraps, more sandwiches, even burritos if you want to. Like, I think those are phenomenal, and here's why. These helped me so much when I switched over to this, is because you can stock these things with enough calories to hit all the marks that you need, and they keep you full and satisfied for a long period of time. If I make a sandwich and I don't just use like, you know, just like ham and turkey, I like add other stuff, you know, maybe some bacon, some cheese, all that other stuff. As long as I'm within my calorie range and I just make a high protein sandwich, which is like a 700 calorie sandwich, and it's high protein with a bunch of stuff in it that comes out to like 50, 60 grams, depending on like how much you put into it. It feels so satisfying to eat, and I don't feel full for a long period of time, so that later on during the day, I can actually stay in my deficit at an easier thing. Like, it's just so much easier. The same way, like if you know, you make a burrito and you just go like, oh, I'm gonna put some rice in this, but I'm gonna put some extra steak and some cheese, some vegetables and all this stuff in there. It is so satisfying, gives you all the stuff that we talked about earlier, but you don't feel that nagging hunger appear later. And you can also adjust this too if you don't want to consume all of it at once. You could easily go like, oh, there are lower calorie wraps you can buy. There are lower calorie breads you can buy. So all of these things together, they make it so convenient to just like stay in your deficit. And they are delicious too. And that's the thing, as long as you are in that caloric deficit and it is easy and you're not doing anything like overly unhealthy, like you're not getting like double bacon greasy cheeseburger every single day or something like that. And even cheeseburgers you can have as long as they're, you know, leaner ground meats, depending on how often you eat them. As long as you're in a deficit, that's a key thing. But like, you know, just other health ramifications and how you prepare it, like I have another video on that as well. But that is the most important thing. Just finding foods that you can stay consistent with. So I highly recommend, again, using burritos, wraps, and sandwiches, various sandwiches. Like, they will just help you get all the protein, all the veggies, all the fats that you need, and help you stay full for longer time. Resistance-wise and cardio-wise, again, just screenshot this, it'll help you. I'm also giving a discount on something in the pinned comment right now that can help you, but there's tons of free stuff on my channel as well. That's just if you want to get your IRL Sung JinWoo on with a meal plan. But The thing that I want to mention right now is specifically ab training, because a lot of people are like, should I be doing ab training? Should I not be doing ab training? What I personally believe is if you weight train your abs or do like resistance training with your abs during this point, when you get more cut, it actually has a better effect because your abs pop more effectively. Your abs will be like not those flat model abs, they'll be more so protruding in a way, which just is a cool little look for a lot of people. So that's that turtle shell look, you know what I mean? And I have a workout on my channel that you can try with that, but also you don't really need to do that much with it. If you do some like hanging leg raises and then also some weighted crunches, those can benefit you tremendously. But again, with abs, a lot of people are stuck doing those hyper circuit stuff, and those are like fine if you're like doing boxing stuff, but I think those work better when you're already lean. They're not the best if you're trying to get your body lower in body fat, from my personal experience at least. Again, various people have different experiences, but that's just my personal take on the matter. Step number 5, sleep more, okay? Your body undergoes so many hormonal reactions that actually help you with fat loss and building muscle when you are asleep. So you want to find a way to sleep more, whether that be like, you know, taking various naps throughout the day, timing it in your Google Calendar of like when you can get more sleep, and then just really making sure that you get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep per day. Because remember, the average person can sleep like 6 hours and stuff like that. But because you are training, you are no longer average. You need to consistently get enough rest to fully recover, because what happens to a lot of people is they just overdo everything and then their body becomes really stressed out and they just are like, why am I not losing weight? And it's because your body is like building up with like cortisol and all these other hormones. And that actually leads me to my next point of like, you know, so many people get stressed out when they're trying to make this change for themselves. So many people get like stressed out, they overthink every little thing, they don't know what they're doing. And in my personal opinion, this is going to be a hot take. This is going to be probably a nuclear take compared to like, you know, weigh yourself every day. Take your like measuring tape and measure your waist. Like look at the mirror every single day. Those work. Those are effective. And if you're a person who can like, you know, stay with that, it does have its merit and it is like 100% effective. However, I think another thing that could be just as effective, but you have to be locked in on your diet. You have to be locked in on the 3-leg stool, on everything I always say, the diet, the training, and your sleep. All right, if you are locked in on everything else, like you are staying in your calories, you're training consistently, and you're sleeping enough, then this is the only way this is going to work for you. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. All right. What I mean by that is, you know how people like look at the mirror every single day. They're like, oh man, I need to be shredded, man, I need to do. And like, the thing is, it's so incremental. It's gonna be little changes every single day. Like if you look at yourself every single day, it's gonna be like, I barely see a change. But if you compare yourself from like day 1 to day 30, you'll see like massive changes start to accumulate. But the problem happens to a lot of people when they just focus on everything and they're just stressing themselves out. They're filling their body up with cortisol and they don't need to do that, all right? Just focus on staying consistent and then don't really pay attention to how your body looks. Like you can surprise yourself so much in that way where you're just like, I'm overthinking all this, but then the next day, like let's say like a month from now, you didn't look at yourself in the mirror, you didn't pay attention, but you knew everything else was locked in. You will surprise yourself and be like, oh shit, look at me, I'm freaking ripped. I didn't even notice that. Like my muscles are starting to pop through more effectively because you weren't thinking about it. That's just a simple trick to help a lot of people, but a lot of people don't like to do that because they don't stay locked in on the 3 things I always tell them to. So stay locked in, you got this. And the final most important thing, you do not need to be sub 10% body fat year round if you don't want to. You do not need to even reach sub 10% body fat. If you get between 10 to 15% body fat, you will look pretty damn good, especially compared to where you're starting at. There's this thing online, I mentioned it with the Genjutsu effect, like a lot of people think that you have to be like action figure lean year round. You don't, okay? A lot of people develop body dysmorphia this way because sometimes it's like, I just naturally hold more weight, and you can still be lean. Like you still go from something like this to this and this to this and look good, all right? There's this disconnect online because again, it's that echo chamber of just like that fitness thing of like, no, you must look like freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger 24/7, and if you don't, then you're a freaking failure and all that bullshit. And that's not the case at all, because like I mentioned in the last video, if you go out into the real world, offline, disconnect, a lot of people will just say, wow, you look really good, man. Like, oh wow, you look really good, girl, or all this stuff like that, right? That's the main thing. Just stay consistent and don't think that you have to get to like sub 10% body fat. Now, Also catch yourself if you feel that like you are getting lazy and it's like, well, I don't have to. No, like if you want to, go for it, reach it, all right? That is a thing. You got to get into that mindset of improvement where I want to do this for myself, because at the end of the day, the only one you're gonna have is that person in that mirror, all right? The people that you want admiration from, all that stuff is gonna fade, and eventually those people stop caring. Like Ted has a great quote on this where they said like, no matter how special something is, eventually people just stop giving a fuck, and that's how it is when you get in shape, all right? That's how a lot of people fall down a path of like, what do I have to do to stand out more, to get that love and affection more? And so they start like taking all these drugs and all this other stuff to like stand out more when they didn't need it, all right? I'm telling you right now, you don't need to do that. Focus on getting what's best for you. You will be great for yourself. You'll be great to like majority of the planet, all right? Even if the echo chambers online will say like, you don't look that great, you will look phenomenal to the planet. So just wanted to say that. If you made it this far in the video, type a Chemi Thirst in the comments down below and be sure to hit that bell icon and subscribe. Got a ton of stuff here for you. And thank you to my patrons. Massive shout out to them for this month. To my patron shout outs for the month of April, Yurika Hidalgo, Illegally Sane, Josh Howie, Nerdtastic Gladio, Samurai Girl, Kai's the Great, and Mom and Dad. All of you are super, just saying. And tell me in the comments, which character inspires you the most to get your body tightened up like that and why? All right, let's get a discussion going. And again, for my people who've been curious, I am running a 10-week thing with my clients at the moment where all of us are training to get like beach ep ready. Like I just love it. We're having a fun time with it. Just like this 10-week aesthetic challenge. If you would like to join it, again, email me in the little thing down below, like the description box. There's a way you can like talk to me on Zoom and then we can just see if that's for you. But remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget, momentai. Now go after it and go get some ripped abs. You got this.